Well, hello, and welcome. It is Sunday, March the 21st, 2021. Yeah, 3/21/21. Is that right? Yes, that's going to be a significant day for me. For those of you who are on Instagram, you're so accustomed for me to be hosting Real Talk Live on Instagram. And I'm only hanging out here with you for a short window while you click the link in my bio. So please, hi Patty, click the link in my bio and you will actually be able to join via YouTube because I am starting on the YouTube platform. Or Dion, I know that you're in the Facebook group as well. I am trying something new today and I need you all to hold my hand in the process. I believe that I can serve much better. You know, I've had my fair share of some technical difficulties with doing the IG lives. So please click the link in my bio now so that you can actually join me there because I'm talking today about the importance of it's time to face it. IT. So, hello there. Somebody just joined via Facebook. Yes, I actually want everybody to either hop over whether to YouTube or on the private Facebook group, which is the Women Activating Greatness and Purpose, so that we can get on with this evening's Sunday show. The link is there, and I'm so excited that we are in a position to do this today. So I'm marking down this day as a monumental day for all of us because you have journeyed with me all this time. And I am so appreciative of you. I see I have some of my earth angels that are just checking to see if all is well on this regard. And before we get into everything, honestly, I could not do it without you. And it's my big thank you for sticking with me and sticking by me as we actually get into the whole real talk and taking it to the next level. So, a part of taking it to the next level means that you'll be able to have better replays and you can share those replays with your friends and your family and make that all happen. So, if you're excited about this next stage for Real Talk, I need to see you give me some love. Yay, good. I'm telling you, I have such faithful people. I have Dion, you have hopped on over. Yvonne is over in the private Facebook community. There's some who will be joining via YouTube. And if you know anything about me, technology gives me angst. And I have somebody there who is watching who knows about the angst that I get with technology. So I so appreciate your support. But I will be hopping off shortly from Instagram and streaming completely via YouTube as well as on the Facebook private group. Although this is interesting. I believe because I'm actually doing this as a solo show today, you're able to actually see me clearly and hear me well. So can I get a thumbs up, please? Hi there, Jennifer. Can I get a thumbs up, please? If in fact you can tell already, especially my Real Talk folks who have been with me for such a long time, are you seeing and are you hearing even better than normal? I need to hear from you. Lorna, hop on over to the YouTube link because this is really just me whetting my appetite and ensuring that everybody who would normally come on Instagram can now actively come on and watch via YouTube. And you can comment just the same. I'm even going to be bold enough to be able to reply. So happy you're all here. Yes, I'm loving it. This was a big adjustment. I was so nervous, straight talk, and I was extremely hesitant about exploring my ability to do both. And this change is something that was coming for a long time. And aren't we guilty of resisting change without even knowing that that change could be better? But we're so inclined to want to stick with what we know, stick with what's convenient. And I really do believe that we have an obligation to ourselves today, and it's something we're going to talk about, to be able to identify that when change needs to come, even if it becomes uncomfortable, we need to embrace that change is our friend. So with that, I say hop on over and let's get into our conversation. Are we ready? Good. Yep. Ready. Yep. We can end that and ready to go on over. Fantastic. So I'm so happy you're all here. And this is the start of so much more to come on both YouTube and Facebook. And I'm compelled today to really talk about my story of being resistant. And I'm going to ask you for yourself, what is it that you know you ought to be doing that you are not doing? Hi there, welcome. So the question for you, for those of you who are just joining for the first time, I'm officially now going to start by saying welcome. Welcome to the Real Talk show with Marsha-Ann. And I'm marking down today's date as significant. It's the 3rd of March. No, not the 3rd of March. It's the 21st of March, 2021. And it's my first time launching off from officially always hosting on Instagram Live. And instead, I am doing this on this new platform. So why? Why did I make this change? Why do you need to make a change in something? Whatever your something is, we're going to talk about it today. And the reason I have chosen the topic that it's time to face it, it's time to face it because we sometimes will stick with things longer than we ought to, just because it's what we know. Agree? I want to hear your comments. We sometimes will stick with things longer than we ought to because it's what we know, because it's convenient, because it's comfortable, because we feel we don't want to rock the boat. Are you able to relate to that any at all? Agree, yes, because it's familiar. It's familiar to you, right? And what is very important for us to understand is that familiar does not mean it's the right thing. Familiar could mean it's just merely convenient. And if you actually make a change, that change could become uncomfortable. And so I am going to challenge you like I challenge myself. So let me give you the backstory. Here's the backstory. I have known for a while that me hosting the amazing guest with the best audience ever for Real Talk, that I had been seeing an increase in the amount of technical difficulties that I faced. And with that in mind, I have been having these conversations about ensuring that I explore what will it take to actually test this out and do what everybody else is doing, which is utilizing a streaming platform and hosting on both Instagram, on YouTube, as well as Facebook. So with that in mind, yours truly has finally taken the plunge. Comfort zones are comfortable. Absolutely, Jennifer. That's why they're called comfort. Comfort zones are comfortable. And because we become so comfortable, and here's the other thing, we also want it to be convenient, not just for us, but convenient for others at times when we remain in things too long. And so I finally had to take the bull by the horn and say, I'm not going to be compromising the quality of these incredible guests, the most amazing audience, who need to be able to see and hear on the platform very clearly. So coming out of that comfort zone meant doing something brand new. And I found every reason under the planet why it can't work. I posture to you today, and it's never an easy conversation. What is it that you know that you need to be doing that because it's going to be uncomfortable, because it could seem inconvenient, because it's going to make you really step into uncharted waters, you are not doing it because doubt has entered your mind, fear of the unknown has entered your mind, and it is time for you to say to yourself today, I'm going to face it. You know what your it is. And we could list a bunch of it's. What would you say you know you need to do that you're not doing? Or in an effort for you to keep that to yourself if you want, you could actually just say that you identify with this. Do you identify that you know there are things that you need to be doing, but you are just holding yourself back either because of doubt, fear, limiting beliefs? Drop it in the chat. Let me hear from you. I need to know. Because at the end of the day, if we don't make this step, guess what happens? We remain in the same place. And sometimes that one little step is a step of improvement. Yes, it will certainly rock the boat to go into uncharted waters. Absolutely, Cheryl. Like, we will rock the boat. We will feel like the boat could capsize with us. But who are we really trusting? If God has given us the vision, he will make the provision. If God has given us the vision, the guidance, the direction, and if everything we are doing needs to be done with excellence, then we're going to have to make it happen, right? It's either we choose to stay. So this could be in so many scenarios. This could be a matter of you dealing with something that is for your personal development that you know you need to do, and you might need a coach in some area of your life. Because if you try and do it on your own, you're not facing it and you need somebody to hold you accountable, right? It could be a matter of physical improvement with your exercise routine. Maybe you're not able to do it the way you've been doing it and getting results. What do you need to change? What about it could very much be relationships. It could be a job. It could be about your financial management. What is it that you know you need to do to make that change so that you can truly thrive in the area that you need to thrive in? So my change today has come with great discomfort. I didn't know if I would be able to log on effectively. I'm also mindful that I'm taking a big risk because the way the algorithms work, a lot of folks will not see that I said, join me on YouTube. So the usual audience, I won't have that today. I also know that within Jamaica today, there's a big national address taking place. And I still am saying I have committed this time to start the Real Talk show, and we're going to start it no matter what. So if your change comes with discomfort, expect it, right? If your change comes with you trying to say, all right, let me test it first, see how well it works, identify what I can improve, then that's a part of growing. We cannot grow if we're in the same space and we're not nurturing what could make us grow. So today is a significant day. You have 10 days for the rest of this month. What is it that you want to put down on paper for yourself? So I'm going to give you, yes, you have your VIP seat and you're in the front row. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. This is the very first of many more shows to come. And so for those of you who have just joined, welcome to the Real Talk Show. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm mindful that this is your Sunday evening and you could be spending it in so many other different fashions. And I thank you so much for giving me your time. And I'm not even going to take up a full episode today, but I want to share some tips that have helped me, especially with making what one would say it is such an easy decision. Why you don't just switch? Really? Making change makes us uncomfortable. Making change is something that will trigger the brain. And can we talk about the negative self-talk? Can we talk about how we will say to ourselves, my goodness, if you change, here is what you're going to lose. But why don't we say, here's what you're going to gain? Why with change, we're inclined to believe that it's a loss? Why with change, we're not saying, what can we gain? And sometimes with change, we have to embrace, you might need to take 2 steps back in an effort to advance 3 steps forward. So here are some of the tips that I have written down for you to remember. Always remember that as a part of your change, you will never have all the answers. If you're waiting, thank you so much. Change is tough. Change is uncomfortable. Change is inconvenient. You will absolutely never, ever have all the answers. That's one key point when it comes on to making a change. You're busy looking for all the answers. You're not going to get all of them. It's just not possible. You're going to have, I made it. Guess what? You have to tell me your name. Drop that in the chat, because if you don't give StreamYard the approval to pick up your name, it just comes up as Facebook user. Thank you for your chair, right? So if you want to make a change in any area of your life, any area whatsoever, always remember that the quest for every answer, you want all 20 questions answered, you want 100% accuracy, you're not going to make that change. The other thing to bear in mind is that when you're making a change, you need to determine who you can lean on for support while you're making that change. Who is it that is in your trusted corner that you can actually make that change with, right? That becomes a very, very integral part of making the process of change possible, because not only is it uncomfortable, but your quest for all these answers, you need somebody to balance you out, to go, listen, just start. Whatever you do, just start. And then the other aspect I want you to remember is when fear wants to take up residence in your mind and in your heart, and doubt why you really, and the whole element of doubt, why you can't start, why you couldn't start, why you shouldn't start, you need to find a way to have that commanding talk over that fear and that doubt, that you are mindful that absolutely nothing is impossible for you to do once God made this possible for you. So your action plan, you're not looking for all the answers. You need the respective support from your trusted tribe, and you must have the command over the negative thoughts that's going to come your way, because otherwise you are going to remain. Paula, you've just joined, and we're talking about the importance of saying it's time to face it. Whatever it is in our life that we know we need to change, what do we need to do and what do we need to own to change it? So in your case, when you decided as a family to pick up and move from one location to another, moving is difficult. It's one of the top stressors for anybody who chooses to take that on. But moving could have meant it's going to be better, but the process is not guaranteed to be easy. So it's really important. And then in your decision to make some of your changes, remember as well that you cannot expect everybody to come along with you for your change. You also can't expect everybody to have the vision for the change that you want. And it's not for you to nullify their point. You just have to be resolute that if you know you have a change to make, then you stick to what it's going to take to make that change possible, even if it is uncomfortable. So you don't need a whole choir to be singing along with you. Yes, change is never easy. Absolutely. It's never easy. But change is necessary. Otherwise, we're going to become fossils, dinosaurs who will remain in the same spot, same position, without making any change whatsoever. And that's not the ideal plan for us. The ideal plan for us is to identify, I've grown, I've seen what I need to change, or I have grown and I also know what needs to expire. What is it that I need to do? The important thing is to remain positive and keep believing that the best is ahead. Absolutely. Because it has to be what's ahead is better than the now. We don't make changes to have a reversal of greatness. No, we make these changes in an effort for us to increase that greatness, right? Yes, you made it. I made it. I made it. And I couldn't make it without you. You sent me a note just about every day. You do it yet? Have you been successful? Thank you, Sandra. So it's really important that we embrace that as we go through this process of change in any area. And here is the last point that you must always remember about change. You will overthink it until you're 100 years old and take absolutely no action. Overthinking leads to complete inaction. Stop it. We have to stop it. We begin to have all the answers to why it can't work. We begin to have all the answers why you should linger longer. We believe we should really just stick it out in a space that we know is no longer where we ought to be, just because the possibility of the change is frightening. So I am sitting here, and believe me, I'm already identifying the aspects of this change that I embrace. The clarity of the sound, seemingly much better. The quality of coming across, seemingly much better as well. And I'm seeing how I am wanting more engagement, right? And I see yes, hey, thank you, Talia. Man, I have some faithful people. You have to always remember that there's some folks, whether you're going through the storm or on a beautiful, summery, breezy day, they're going to be there. Those are your people. And there are those people who will be with you, but they'll also not necessarily be available at that time. Those are still your people, right? So in your process of change, you've got to know who you have that's with you. But do not become so paralyzed. I wrote today something, and you'll hear me share it in my Activate Your Greatness tomorrow. I wrote today, it stemmed from a post that I made with me dressed up in a sequin top and a long skirt and say, where am I going to the supermarket? I want you to be mindful of that post, because the birth of that post is going to give birth to something that is bigger than a dream that I need to make a reality. And I'm putting it out here because I'm going to hold myself accountable as you hold me accountable to it too. But one of the things I want to say to you, write this down as a fact. You know for yourself that there are dreams and there are visions and there are desires that you have. God has given you dreams and visions, and you have said to yourself, I'm not ready to face it because I don't have the capacity. I don't have the resources. I'm too small for this. I don't know if I have it in me to do it. Let me watch somebody else do it first. Whomever you are, as I had that talk with myself, let me tell you something. Once God has given you that vision, so if you are on here and you know that there's a podcast that you need to start, but you're waiting on the perfect time isn't there. If you're on here and you know that you've been stirred up within the last 12 months to do something more than what you have been doing, but you're holding yourself back because you've said, I don't have enough time. If this is speaking to you, know that there is never going to be enough time, right? Thank you. Happy to be here. If this is speaking to you, there'll never be enough time. You just have to determine for yourself exactly what you know you need to do. And then take it in bite-sized pieces. So what is that dream and what is that vision that you know it's time for you to face it, to make it happen? What is it? And you have sat on it and you have labored. If it has awakened you in the middle of the night, or when you wake up in the morning, it's on your mind and your heart. And God has already said to you, listen, girl, you can do this thing. I've equipped you already. Do we understand that delayed obedience is disobedience? I'm going to say that again. Delayed obedience is disobedience. So you never just got that vision and that dream on your own. Just start and start small. Introspection day today. Yes, good. Big introspection day today. Big. Delayed obedience is disobedience. Absolutely. Because really what we're telling God, is that God, say, I think I can do it, but I kind of doubt in you. Because any doubt we have of ourselves, you understand that we're doubting God, yeah? Like, I want us all to understand that we're saying to God, all right, you gave me the vision, but listen, this is so big. It's so magnanimous. I don't have the kind of resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the people. You giving him everything you don't have. But who you think gave it to you? You think everybody started all these efforts because they got up one day and they had it all in front of them? We just need to read on the stories of those who went before us, those who have taken the walk already. Maybe you have a charity on your heart that you want to start and you're like, I can't start big. Don't start big. Start with one person. If you have that on your heart to do, start with one person. If it is that you know that there is a natural ability in you to serve in a particular capacity, you don't need a logo. You don't need a website. You don't need that. What is it that you're called to do that you're not doing? That you need to face it today. And you're busy getting everybody else's opinions. You think I can? Let me tell you, I know, I'm not speaking to you about what I don't know. I'm speaking about myself. So when I talk, I'm speaking to the man in the mirror. So it is a reminder that now is the time. Today is the day to face your it. And whatever your it is, don't delay. It means getting back to your notebook and saying to yourself, you can dig up your journals. They're right there in the journals that you wrote a long time ago. Dig up those journals. See what the journals have to say. It's in there. You don't have to dig too far. It's right where your journals are. And the same idea that you had a year ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, They're still there. They're just waiting on you. So we're going to wait till we're 100. Who is waiting until they're 100? Not us. We need to activate our purpose today. We need to activate our greatness today. Everything working well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, we have to activate what we have been given to use. Work with what you have. Do not delay because you feel you need perfection, which does not exist. All of us need to liberate ourselves from thinking that we need it to be perfect. Perfection is not there. It's not there. So I want you to release yourself from that today. There is no such thing as perfection. It absolutely, positively does not exist. So if you are going to be serious, thank you. If you're going to be serious about this, sometimes it takes getting an accountability partner. But before you can get that accountability partner, you have to face yourself first. Because it's not okay for us to be talking about the same things and we're just not acting. I was talking about doing this platform change for a little while once I found out that my quality was just deteriorating. And I'm like, can I do it? No. Have I lost some folks since between 6 and now? Yep. Folks would have checked and they're not seeing it there. But we are here. We are those who are gathered for right now. And the purpose of anything that you're doing, it's whether it's for an audience of 1, 10, 100, or 1,000. We need to work with it today. Yes, Kitania. And stop worrying about tomorrow. God has already written it out. But I believe that God must be saying, no, really, how many more times I must tell this child? This is what you ought to be doing. What is taking you so long to act? And every time we're like, but God, I can do it, But let me wait a little bit longer. When I have enough money, when will we ever have enough money? When I have enough time, when will 24 hours expand to more than 24 hours? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so we major in the minors, one small step at a time. And can I also say, because we don't have the answers for everything, can we take advantage of identifying that there are folks who have the answers and they're waiting on us to ask? People are willing to help. I got so much help to make all of this possible. People are willing to help. We just need to ask. And sometimes we stay in our little bubble and we do not expand ourselves to get the help and guidance from others. Today's a new day. Today is a day that we're going to identify all the things that we know we need to do. We need to operate in that zone of genius because we got the vision. It's not somebody else's own. And so after today, you're not going to be living someone else's vision. You're not going to be living life according to what someone else says. You're going to take those things that you need to do. And I'm going to beat the same horses. It's time to face it. If it is that your diet needs to change, face it. What is it that you need to do? Start. Just start. Don't start radical. Don't start drastic. Start. Do you need to exercise? Don't do it 7 days a week and then stop. Start. Start with 1 day. Do you want to write that book? Start with 1 line. Do you need to end that friendship or relationship that is so highly unhealthy? Start to determine what you need to do. You seek God and let God guide you. Do you need to form a support group? Do you need counseling? Start. Do you need financial guidance? Start. You know the areas of your it that you need. Do you need counseling for your friendship or your relationship? Seek it. And there are things that we would say, we know at this time, financially, some things are not available to you. Do you know there's so many more free options that are available that has never been available before? Do you need a coach to help you with your personal development or your professional development? Is there a role model that you have that you want to become a guide for you? Have you sent them a note? So all of these opportunities, I'm saying to you, face what your it is. And what I'm going to recap and share, just remember, at no point on the planet, you're going to have to let fear go, let doubt go in an effort to face your it, right? You need to stop searching for the answers that will make it perfect for you, because perfection does not exist. And you owe it to yourself to stop seeking validation from everybody else. And remember, overthinking will lead you to complete inaction. So face your it. God gave it to you. And God never promised you a smooth road. You're going to have bumps. You're going to have potholes. But this is called a journey. So I ask you this question today. Based on where you are right now with your life, are you feeling fulfilled? Are you flourishing? Or are you just functioning? I know that I will begin by answering. I had been functioning all this time, just functioning, getting it done, going through the motions, getting it done. But I knew there was more inside of me, just like how there's more inside of you. Tap into the more that's inside of you, that you can begin to feel that you are more fulfilled. And you will know what it's going to take to make you more fulfilled. More fulfilled does not mean more money. More fulfilled could very well mean answering to that call, answering to that it, answering to that dream, answering to that desire, right? Why all these tough questions today? Guess what? Your name is coming up as Facebook user. I want to know who this is. I know. Why am I digging so deep today? Today is not a warm and fuzzy one, right? I believe because I had to ask myself that question. Jen, I'm so happy you needed to hear this today. Absolutely. Sometimes we have to get uncomfortable with ourselves and ask the uncomfortable questions ourselves in an effort to really have change happen. And we're not talking about volcanic change or seismic changes. I'm talking, it's Saturday Bible study. Yes. I'm talking about the importance of us really identifying honestly and seriously. This is going to be the toughest question of them all. If this is not a comfortable question, I warn you, hop off if you can't manage. If God should ask me or you today, my child, are you really fulfilling the purpose that I have equipped you to fulfill? What would our answer be? I'm going to type in my answer. But what a good and a gracious God, who would say to us, I've given you more than enough to triumph. So it's okay. I'm extending more grace, but don't waste the time that I've given to you, because somebody is waiting on you, that you are not facing your it. Somebody is waiting on you. What do you need to do? It could be a charity, It could be where you are supposed to just mentor one person, right? It could be because of your wisdom and your life experience that your podcast content, somebody waiting to hear it. And here's the beauty about it. You have no idea that your content could be played by somebody at 2 a.m. when they're in their deepest, darkest hour and they need you. What about my creatives on here? I have creative folks that are on this live today. And you know that the creativity that you have is also an outlet for others to be able to express themselves, because they have had trauma, they have had hurt, they don't even know how else to express themselves unless they do it through art. There are creatives on here who know that their business is so unique and that they have grown and that they're flourished, but you're probably feeling like you're at a plateau now. Not anymore, because you're going to face your it. The plateau that we are hovering at, it means that it is time to make the next move. So I pray that today blessed you. Art is therapy. Exactly. Art is big therapy. You know that. You have helped yourself through art, and there are others who need to be helped by you through your art as you continue to help them. So I am saying today, let us not put God in a box, because we have put ourselves in this limited box. I am saying that Real Talk, this space, is really about ensuring that we encourage one another, we engage one another, we empower one another, and we educate one another. So very important. But what is most important about it is that we truly are commissioned to live our lives on purpose, with passion and prosperity. And if we are truly not, when you juice oranges, do you remember when you juice oranges? And if you juice them to the point where inside is white because everything has been squeezed out. My friend Sandra, who is on here, she gave the best analogy the other day. And she said, and this is for those of you who know a bag juice. She said that she hopes at the end of the day that her life would have been made so complete because she has given everything back to how God has had her serve and how she has lived her life. That's our mission. Empty us out. So the question of the day, to make it easier for you, is to ask yourself, what do I need to empty out so that I can actually continue to grow to the next level? So we did it. We did today's episode, people. And I am praying that everything sounded well, everything looked well, and it's going to get better and better from here. I have to shout out my behind the scenes folks who kept on saying, yes, you can. I noted your every comment, your every cheer. I got your messages for you all supporting, saying, all right, if we're switching, you're coming alongside. And so I'll use this week to share more about everybody saying, join us here, join us on this side, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. We are truly stronger together. But don't forget, when you're through it today, ask yourself very clearly, it's time to face your it. What is it that you need to do to get you to that next level? So until then, continue with your beautiful no hope. It will be like that. I'm actively working on donning it. Yes, you have to, Sandro. And thank you so much, BFFF. Yep, we did it. And I just want to say to everybody, I value you, I appreciate you, and there's no way I could do what I do without you. And we're going somewhere. Real Talk is going somewhere, and we're going together. You will have your guest next week, Sunday, but I kicked off the launch show with me. And thank you so much, Cheryl. No, but for you to always take the time out to come to the talks, that's a big deal. No, that's a big blessing, right? Because you don't have to come. You don't have to come. I have, there's some of you on here that have been here day one till now. I said to Lorna that she's the type that the teacher goes, all right, first place again. So yes, guys, I'm going to tell you, be tough on yourselves this evening. In the midst of seasoning it with grace, be tough on yourself. Some of you are on here and you know what God has called you to do. In fact, you might get a message from me tonight. You know what God has called you to do, and you are acting as if you are sleeping on it and ignoring Him. And it's time. Transition to YouTube was worth it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, give yourselves a high five. Make this the most amazing week imaginable. And remember, the fact that we're alive, it means that we have hope. Life isn't perfect. Don't profess and expect it to be. But what you know you've got to do is to rise each day, shine, give God thanks, and continue to pour out your purpose and passion. The world needs you. Never doubt it. Nothing too small or too big for you to do. God has equipped you. Now it's time for you to go. So on that note, thanks for another episode of Real Talk with Marsha-Ann. Real Talk is a space that you come, and this is a community where we're here to engage, encourage, empower, and educate one another to live our truly best lives, but most importantly, live our lives of purpose with passion and prosperity. So until next time, see you then. Take care. Be blessed.